Hey guys! Welcome to my channel and welcome to my first city living video. If you don't follow me on Twitter or on Tumblr, or you haven't seen my last video, if you're not following me on any of those websites, why not? It's fun there. Go there and follow me. I'm Sim Storytime on every single one of them, or my link is in the description or at the end of the video. So anyway, if you don't follow me on there, I just bought City Living. Yes! So this is my first apartment renovation video. It's not really building because the apartments are sort of like set as they are. Sorry, I just hit the table with my hand on accident. You can move some walls around. I did that, but I mostly kept like the normal shape of the apartment because I feel like that's more realistic in the whole renovation thing. I mean, you don't really move walls in apartments, you just get them how they are. I did remove some walls, and I moved one over, so I cheated a little, but it's still an apartment renovation. So basically, I just bought this apartment, no furniture, and now I am putting lots of furniture around. And a little sneak peek for this, not a challenge, let's play. I will have a family in every single area. This is the arts area. And there's 3 guys living here. They lived here before. They lived here for a pretty long time. One of them is a painter, so they moved into the arts area just because he wanted to. I don't know. But one of the guys has a little sister, and she also wants to be a painter. So she basically begged them if she could move in to the apartments. And it's a very stereotypically guy apartment. I don't want to say that this is, I mean, people get offended really, really quickly at this moment in time. I know it's like almost trendy to be offensed. Offensed? Is that a word? I'm not sure. Offended. That's the word I'm looking for. I don't know. It's like I'm not saying that all of these things I'm putting into this apartment can only be used by guys, but people will assume that I'm saying that. It's like they are offended before I even did something offensive. Does that make sense? They just assume that people are being offensive. Now, I do understand that some people are problematic and that it should be sort of reinforced that it doesn't matter which gender you are, you can do whatever you want. But I just hate that we have to put these disclaimers on these videos. It's just kind of annoying. Okay, so these guys basically like very neutral colors, very like an industrial vibe. They really like games. It's sort of like a stereotypical guy's apartment. But then his little sister moved in, which is going to be awkward and really funny. So watch the Let's Play because it's going to be amazing. I haven't really explored the whole gameplay of City Living yet, so I'm very excited to start filming. I don't want to do anything before I start filming my Let's Play because I feel like it's just fun to see me experience it for the first time. But anyway, basically his little sister moved in who really likes pink and colors and flowers and pretty things and cute things. So she sort of moved things around, but like really big plants into corners and flowers everywhere, and more color. But basically this apartment is kind of like it's stereotypical guy's apartment with like little stereotypically girl things in here, with the keyword being stereotypical. Please don't assume that I mean that this can only be used by guys. I like some of these things too, both of the sides. Like I like gaming and I like games, but I also like pink and pretty things and cute things, so anything is fine as long as you're happy. Okay, so basically the layout of this apartment is a big kitchen and living area. There's lots of room there. I also put in, at the end, I put in a basketball thing on the wall. I'm not sure if they can use that inside, but it would be really, really funny to see them use it. So I hope it's functional. I haven't tested it out yet, but if it isn't, I'll just move it and put in something else. But basically this is like a large living space to be used by everyone, and then they all have their own room. So there's not like one study, they all have their own desks in their own rooms. So whatever they want to do, like hobbies and whatever, they mostly do it in their own rooms because that's their space. They have pretty big rooms. There are 2 bathrooms. One is shared by the brother and his little sister, and one is shared by the other 2 guys in this apartment. I really like the idea of making their rooms their places to do all their hobbies, and I'm not sure if is that an English word? I'm not sure. Like all the things they like to do, having that in their room. I like that because it basically meant that you really see their personality show through by looking at their, what's it called? Rooms. Yeah. The thing I've been talking about the entire time, but somehow I just forgot what I was trying to say. So I didn't know what to do on this side because you can see there's lots of like open spaces in the living area, and I don't really mind that. I also really like that. It makes the room look bigger and not very crowded, but I did want something on that wall. So I was experimenting. I want to say experimenting, but that's not a word. Experimenting with different things to be on that wall. I was looking for things to put on the fireplace, but I think I just removed the fireplace in the end and put in the basketball thing there. Okay, so I want to talk about something. I am taking a gap year this year. I'm not sure if that's really a thing in different countries, but it's getting like increasingly more popular to take a gap year. I guess school is getting more stressful and more stressful every single day basically, and people just need a break and they want to travel, and they basically are aware that once you start getting into university and getting a job, there's not much time to actually travel and do things you always wanted to do. So I took a gap year this year, and my reason is more because basically I was at the highest level of school in the Netherlands. We have different levels. I was at the highest level, but I don't think I should be at the highest level. I had a really hard time keeping up. I was working insane hours. I got up at, let's say at 8 or something. Then I went to school. I would be home at around 5. I would take a break until after dinner, so that's like 6, and then I worked the entire evening and the entire night. I basically only slept for like 3 hours per night. It was insane. I did insane hours. I studied so much. I barely made it every single year. Like I barely got to the next year, and at the end I actually did pass my exams, but I had to retake one. So that's sort of my story. I was really stressed out, and I didn't have any time to apply to colleges, universities, nothing. So I just decided to take a gap year, take my time, figure out what I wanted to do. And that's what I'm doing right now. And what I'm basically doing, what my project is this gap year, is making this YouTube channel. I'm really enjoying doing it. There's like a lot of time goes into doing this. But it's not like a universally known thing. I know a lot of YouTubers have this problem. It's not something you tell people. Like, let's say my best friend's parents, sorry, wrong way around. I won't tell them that I have a YouTube channel. So if I'm over there and they ask me, oh, what are you doing this year? I'm like, nothing. So something you need to prepare for when you're taking a gap year. You will get the question, what are you doing this year? A lot. And not in a nice way, in like a really, really, really judgmental way. They will basically just look down on you, like you aren't doing nothing, you're like lazy, why aren't you doing something with your life? So unless you're going on like the biggest world travel, or like working a lot, you will get judged basically immediately. So prepare for that. If you're thinking about taking a gap year, prepare for that. Also make a plan. That's really important. If you want to take a gap year, make sure you have something to do. Don't just be like, oh, I want a vacation for a year. No. No. Make sure you have something to do. again, since we're sort of talking about school anyway, I want to tell you like a funny story from when I was in, it's like the first year Dutch high school, so that's like you're 13 when you're in your first year of high school here. We have, depending on what level you do, I had 6 years of high school, which is pretty weird because the higher your level, the longer you'll be in school. Which probably doesn't make sense to most of you if you're not in the Netherlands. So if you want me to explain, I can, but that's not the story right now. What I want to talk about is a really ridiculously funny story from when I was in my first year. Okay, so basically I was in my first year and I was doing this project with a guy I didn't really know. He was one of the popular guys, but we were put together by the teacher. So I had to do this project on my own basically because he was just walking around talking to people. And I was using his scissors to do something, I don't know, and someone else needed them. So they basically walked up to us and it was like, hey, can we borrow your scissors? And he was like, yeah, sure, take them. So after a while, he was gone and the scissors were still like at this other table and I needed them, like I needed to finish this project. So I walked over to that table and I was like, hey, can I get my scissors back or his scissors back? And they were like, no. And they weren't even using them. They were just refusing to have, like, give me these scissors back. I was like, yeah, but I really need them, and we were using them from this project, and they were like, nope, not doing it. So basically we got into this like really big argument, like almost a fight over a freaking pair of scissors. It was kind of ridiculous. But the most ridiculous thing was I was in the dressing room a couple of hours later, and I had just taken like a dance class because I was in like an art school or something like that, and I was basically just getting back into my normal clothes, and a girl from a different class just walked into the dressing room. She wasn't even supposed to be there, and she was like, You had a fight with my friend. And she just randomly started yelling at me. It was literally, I was almost amused because it was so ridiculous. She was just yelling at me over this pair of scissors. And she wasn't even in the argument. She was in an entirely different class. And I guess she heard that and she went looking for me to yell at me over a pair of scissors. It was like one of the weirdest days of my school life. Okay, so that's basically it for that story. It was kind of ridiculous and also kind of funny. I didn't really find it that funny when it was happening because it was kind of scary too. If people are mad at you, that's just not a fun thing. But looking back on it, it's pretty funny. So let me know if you like me to talk more about my personal life or if you would like me to talk more about the builds. Leave a comment telling me your preference. I like it when simmers talk about their personal life and also talk about the builds. So what I'm trying to do in my videos is basically talk about the builds in the beginning and a little bit at the end, but mostly in the beginning, and then do some personal stories. So as you can see, I just finished up all of the bedrooms. I'm working on the last one right now. This is the painting room, and the other one was the game room, and then there's 2 more. But anyway, that's basically it for this video. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you very soon. Goodbye!